this is Minnie, and we are gonna do a little demo on how to start place and what things that you guys want to do at home to get your dog to feel comfortable and understand the rules of place. So first things first, we've got to make sure that we've got a dog that's engaged with us. I've got Minnie here, I've got some treats, and she's obviously hungry and she's willing to work. So first step is complete. And then the next thing is I want to make sure my dog knows how to follow my lure hand. So what that is I take food and I sandwich it in between the palm of my hand and my thumb. One thing I think about is number 4. You kind of make the number 4, and you want that number 4 to be directed down to the ground so you can lure backwards. So once I've got the dog, or he's understanding how to follow my lure hand, good. Now I'm ready to start seeing if I can use that to lure him onto place. We've got a goat walking by that Minnie hasn't really seen, so she's getting a little distracted. And that's a good use of the leash. If I didn't have a leash on her, then she could go wherever she wanted and go away from me. So by having a leash, I'm being able to keep her in my swimming pool, and I can, if she goes out, I can keep her with me. So I've got her luring. She's doing pretty good. What I'm gonna do, Minnie, good girl, is I'm gonna take her head and I'm gonna lure it straight to the middle of the bed. Now, if she's not wanting to go on it, sometimes I have to take my time. I just gave her a piece of food and I keep going good. And I lured her on. I mark the correct behavior by saying good, and then I'm gonna feed her for staying on it. Now, these first couple times, I'm gonna be okay with this, so I'm gonna tell her yes, and move her off. I'm also gonna bring this bed a little bit closer to the camera and try it again. So I'm luring her straight to the middle of the bed. She's going on. Once all 4 feet are on, I'm going to tell her good, and I'm going to reward her. Now at the beginning, I do not care that the dog lays down. I don't care. I don't want to worry about any of that, because I just want to teach her what place means to go to the bed and then the parameters to stay on place. So at this point, I probably haven't even said place yet, but now I'm going to start doing it. So yes, let her come off. So this time, right before I lure, I'm going to tell her place, and I'm going to take her nose and lure her straight into the middle of the bed. Good. Now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start moving myself around the place board, and what I'm looking, nope, place. What I'm looking for is that Minnie is following with me. She may or may not follow with me, but more so that as I'm moving, she doesn't take that as an invitation that she can come off the bed. So I'm going to move around. If she makes the right choice, I'm going to mark it good, and I'm going to come and bring her some food. I start moving around. Good. And bring her some food. Now, if she makes the mistake of coming off, I've got the leash to block that choice. And I'm also, nope, please. Good. I'm also going to use my spatial pressure to move her on. Now, at this point, this is the first time that Minnie's seen this, I am okay with rewarding her for fixing her mistakes. Dogs are going to make mistakes. It's part of training, and it's a part of learning. So I'm not going to harp on her too much about making those mistakes. Down the road, as I expect more of her, I will be a little bit more strict on what I'm looking for. So I'm moving around. She's doing a good job. Good. And this is something that I may have my dog's dinner with. And so through these turns, I'm going to mark every little step. Good. And I'm going to reward her for it. Maybe move a little bit away. Good. Now I'm going to get ready to reset the rep. So I'm going to, yes, and I'm going to let her come off. Good girl. Very good. And I'm going to have a little bit of a party. Make her know that what she just did was really good. This is when I can start doing my yeses, which means come to me. And I also can do my get it. And I can throw the food on the floor. Yes. And just make a little bit of an event of a reward event. I'm going to get her attention, and I'm going to do it again. So I've got her attention, first step. I'm going to tell her place. Second step is to lure her straight to the bed. Third step is mark it, good, and give her a reward. Now I'm going to start moving around. Now, if she decided to lay down, I really want to make sure she knows that that was awesome, and I'm going to do what I call a jackpot, which means I'm going to give her a large amount of food to show her that that was what I'm looking for. Good. But again, the first or second session, I wouldn't require that too much. Oh, good girl. I almost marked it. She fixed herself, so I marked the good and then rewarded. Challenging her a little bit. Good. Yes. And let her come on. Girl. Good girl, Minnie. Get it. Get it. Minnie. Yes. Good. So I can always throw in all those engagement exercises at any point. It's going to help build some motivation out of it and build our engagement towards us. So I've got her attention. Place. Good. That time I went a little faster, but she's starting to figure this out already, so she's doing a pretty good job and ready for those next steps. Yes. Now, as time goes, so let's say I've been working with Minnie and this is my third or fourth session. Now I could start expecting a little bit more, and I could be showing her that place also means to go to a settled behavior. So what I would then do, and let's all pretend that I've been doing this a few sessions, is I would keep her attention. I'm going to do everything to start, place, lower her straight to the bed, mark it good. I'm going to give her a reward. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the place, and I'm going to lure her so she maybe lays down. Good. And I'm going to reward her close to the bed. She got up. That's okay. Place, lower her down. Good. Good. Maybe do a couple reps of her just staying there. Good. And while she's holding that down, yes, and let her come off. Good girl. And over time, I can ask for more and more duration. Very good. Okay. Place. Good. Yes. So now I'm starting to do a little bit more of like what I call an abbreviated lure. I'm not helping her so much with keeping my hand right at her nose. I'm kind of place, guiding her. And you see how she's already, when she says, here's place, she's looking at the bed and going with a lot of motivation. We're starting to get somewhere. She's starting to understand already what place means. Yes. Place. Good girl. Yes. Very good. And that's a good first session. We don't need to think duration right now, and we don't need to think really long reps or long sessions. This could be 3 to 5 minutes. I do 3 to 5 minutes. I get something that I like, and then I may reward my dog with an entire rest of the food and her meal on the place board. And that would be a good session for me.